Hey guys, so I recently saw a tutorial done by Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, and I'm pretty sure it's old. I don't know how old it was, but I was just fascinated by the techniques that he used in order to achieve that Kardashian glow. And I actually think that it is something they can wear in a day-to-day makeup. The other things that they wear, I'm going to say not so much, but to achieve that kind of healthy looking glow is actually pretty attainable for the everyday person. So I kind of wanted to recreate that Kardashian glow and kind of make it wearable for the everyday person. To start that off, you want to moisturize your face, obviously. And I guess the key to that is finding the moisturizer that works best for you. And that's only through trial and error. There's no faster way to do it than trial and error. Try a lot of different types of moisturizers and see how your skin reacts. So once you do that, you want to then prime. And I have been loving the Photo Ready primer. It is, for me, just the one that makes my skin look the best. It makes it look glowy, I don't react to it, and it just blurs out all of my imperfections. To achieve that glow, you do want to get something that is similar to that, in the sense that you want it to be brightening. And then if you do have pores, you want to make sure you get one that's for the pores too. But we're just going to put this all over. I have been breaking out recently. Yeah, if you ever get those monthly breakouts, you know how I feel. They're just so painful too. I don't understand. But you can't complain. So once you kind of smooth everything out, you want to then cover up any of your imperfections. For some people, that might be just using a little bit of concealer. For me, it's full-on foundation. I've never been just a concealer wearing type of person. I've always had to kind of use foundation to kind of get where I need to be. And so if you are one of those people, you do need to find a foundation that will mimic your natural skin. For me, that has been the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. For me, it's just gives me the most beautiful finish. Other people, that might be the L'Oreal, it might be just a creamy concealer. Whatever works for you, use it. You just want to create an even skin texture and make sure that it's nice and smooth and glowy. So this one works for me. I like to do a couple pumps, and then I like to go in with, I like to use a stippling brush. For me, it just kind of works best. You could also use a beauty blender if you want. I just find that that doesn't give me the coverage that I want. And I like to do it, I like to press it into the skin and then bring it down. Because we all have little hairs on our face, and I just find that doing that creates the most natural look. If you can see, it already looks more even. It just kind of looks like I was born this way, which I'm not, but that's okay. You just want to kind of cover up all of the imperfections that you might have. And just smooth everything out. The reason I like this one is just that because a little bit will go a long way, and it will just look dewy and natural for the rest of the day. That's just something, especially when you want to achieve a Kardashian glow, you need to do that. You need to find that consistency that works best with your skin. Another thing you want to do is find the color that works best for you too. You want to match it to your neck, just so that you don't have any of that discoloration and you don't have it looking like a mask. You really want to avoid that line of demarcation. There's nothing worse than seeing that, because everyone can notice. My boyfriend just the other day was talking to me, he doesn't even, understand all of that makeup thing, but he knows when it doesn't look good. And it's just, you know, you just don't want people to notice you're wearing makeup. Now my face is actually a different color than the rest of my body, which is why I need to go over it with foundation. Again, if you are more even toned, you don't have to do this, but I am not that lucky. Once we have everything blended in, we are going to go in with concealer. Now for the natural glow, you don't really want to do anything crazy. You just want to conceal your under eyes. I like to go in with a corrector shade first, and the corrector would be anything that's peachy, just to kind of cancel out any of that darkness that you have underneath. Anything that's purpley or blue, sometimes it's more intense. You want to go with an orange shade then. Mine aren't too bad, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of a peach. And then we're going to move with a little bit of a more yellow tone to brighten. And I think I'm going to use this one here. The one I used before was by Laura Mercier. I love that one for correcting. I just think that it looks the most natural. I'm just going to put a little bit right there just to brighten up and conceal a little bit more. And then for this, I do like to use a beauty blender to blend it out. I just find that it gives it the most natural finish. I'm just going to blend that out. And again, nothing too crazy, nothing too intense. Just enough to cover up any of those dark circles. The key with the Kardashian look, surprising as it might be, is to go light-handed. You don't want to do too much all at once. You know, the key is to make it look like you woke up this way, not that you spent an hour trying to put everything together. So once we have that, I'm going to let it dry just a little. It was very, very wet. We are going to go in. This we're going to do, I did see the makeup artist use this, and I have been loving this highlighter for a very long time. It's how I got into Benefit Cosmetics. It's how I got started working for them too. It's a really great consistency. It goes from cream to powder, and it's a very natural shine, kind of regardless of your skin tone. I just think it works for everybody. And the way I saw him put it on, which I found was really interesting, was using a little brush. This one is from Laura Mercier's. I think it's one of their concealer brushes. And I like to do this before powder, just so it creates a nice base for your powder highlighter to go on top of. So you're just going to take a little bit off of the top on a concealer brush, and we're just going to dust this where we want our glow. Now for most people, it's going to be right here at the tops of the cheekbones. We can put a little down the bridge of our nose, and we can do a little underneath our eyebrows. So you just want to kind of brush it on and brush it down. We want it to be as subtle as possible. You can see it's just kind of a slight glow, mostly because we're going to go over it with some powder highlighter in a little bit. But the point of this is to create that base for the powder highlighter to go on top. It's all about subtlety. Now I do like it on my nose. You don't have to, but I do. And we're just going to put it right down the middle there. And a little bit on the Cupid's bow. The Kardashians are very big on the Cupid's bow. And it makes sense. It's just, it makes your lips look bigger. I don't really need it, but I just like the way that it enhances, you know, your lip shape and things like that. And then we're just going to put it a little bit underneath our brows. I need to get mine done, but you know, you live and you learn. I don't have time to go to get them done every 2 weeks. And it costs money. I don't have all that money. Girl's gotta pay her bills. Okay, so that's the first part. See, with that, you don't really have to worry too much about blending because you're using such a little bit of product, and this is just so creamy that you don't need to worry about that. So once you do that, you're ready to powder everything. I need powder because I do get oily throughout the day, and I just think that if I don't powder, it's just gonna run. The key to not looking like you're wearing too much powder is not putting too much on. So you do want to make sure, we're gonna pounce that out and just go in with a little bit of powder. I'm using the Secret Brightening Powder. I do like that it is brightening, and I think that it makes everything look nice and smooth. I was worried about all of those. It looked a little too glittery for me, but in reality, it doesn't come off as glittery, which, because you don't want glitter under your eyes, because that's not going to help anything. You just want it to look brighter. And then to set my face, we're going to use the Tarte's, I believe this is Smooth Operator. I just like the way it kind of diffuses everything else a little bit more. If you have any fine lines or pores, this really does help with that. So we're just going to dust that all over. And powder is a really important step too when you want to do a nice natural glow, mostly because you don't want to put powder on top of liquid. It's just going to make it separate. It's not going to go on smoothly, and you're just going to be frustrated. So just dust a little bit of powder. And again, for an everyday person, you don't need to worry about colored powders because you're not getting your picture taken. You don't have to worry about flash photography because this can create that white cast. But since we're not being photographed, so I like to use those powders. I think they just keep everything in place longer. So once we do this, we're gonna do a little bit of contouring, and I mean very, very little. You would think, and the Kardashians do a lot of contour, but when we're talking about that natural glow, we want to make sure it's nice and subtle. So in order to do that, we want to just carve out just a little bit of our features. We want them to look defined, enhanced, but not drawn out. So I'm just going to take a little bit from the Anastasia, there we go, the Anastasia contour kits, and we're just going to use that middle shade just a little bit. Again, find the shade that kind of works for you. You, again, don't want it to look like you're trying too hard. So it's going to go in that. I just think everyone looks best with their contour, if you contour just that cheekbone area. Unless you are Angelina Jolie and you don't need it. I think that everyone can benefit from it. For me, I like to do it, you want to just feel your natural bone, if you can feel it right here, and you just want to do it directly underneath. And it's kind of like from your ear lobe to your mouth, except you just don't want to go all the way here. You want to stop at about at the end of your eyebrow. So that's kind of how you would do just a little bit of a contoured cheekbone. For me, again, I like to keep it right here. Now the key to keeping it looking natural is blending. You want to make sure that you don't stop blending. And you can change brushes. You can do it many times as you'd like. The trick is just to blend up until the point you just don't see those lines anymore, and it just looks like a natural hollow. And in order to, at least what I think, to make it all balanced, I am so hot, by the way. So if I'm shiny everywhere else, it's probably sweat. Actually, probably put my fan on. Let me see. Okay. So in order to keep it looking natural is to balance that out. Not everyone needs a ton of darkness around their forehead or underneath their chin, but I think in order to keep it looking very natural is to balance that with a little bit on the corners of the face as well. Just so it kind of blends in, and it's not like you just have darkness in the cheek area. because that's never the case. The point of contouring also is to make it look, you want to put it where the shadows naturally fall, and that would be in like directly on top of the face, wherever kind of sun would hit. And I have a lot of redness here. I'm not quite sure what I did, but I'm just gonna cover that. And I just took a little bit of that banana shade just to brighten up the center of the face.
You see these baby hairs? Where did they come from?
So once we do that, we're gonna move on to blush. And now, keeping with the whole glowy look, you want to choose a color that will be most natural on you. I have been loving, I'm very pink naturally. So for me, I really have loved, this is from the BH Glamour shadow, no, I'm sorry, Glamour blush palette. I have been loving the shade right here. You want to choose something, I think, with a little bit of that's matte, just so that it doesn't overpower your highlighter. And this shade for me just gives me the a little bit of pink flush. And again, you want to focus on the apples of your cheeks and then bring it back just to further enhance your cheekbone area. I love blush. I just think that, especially if you're doing a full face of makeup, it really completes the look. Without it, it just kind of falls flat. Okay, so once you have your blush, I'm gonna tone it down just a little bit. With a stippling brush, we're just gonna kind of blend all that together. And that way it'll just look, you wanna look like you have been running pretty much. That's kind of what you want your natural flush to be. So now we're gonna move on to the final, let's see if I can get my brush. So once we have our base down, we're gonna go in with a little bit of highlighter to finish that glow, and it's just going to further enhance what we already put on, and also so that as it wears off, we still have a base of glow. So next I like to use the Anastasia, you can't really see it because it fell, but we're going to use this one here. Use one that kind of will complement your skin tone. What I love about the What's Up is that it has, it's both cool and warm at the same time. It's champagne, so it's going to work for every skin tone. And so once you have that, you want to further enhance it by either going with a warm highlighter or a cool highlighter. And for me, what looks best is a warm highlighter. So I'm just going to go with a nice gold. And then we're just going to, again, brush it right on top. And we're going to work in a downward motion. And again, that will place the most of the product on the top of the cheekbone where we want it, and then diffuse it down. And especially with this highlighter, a little bit goes a long way. And you can just kind of see how much more it's popping. Okay, so we're just going to do that again over here. Working our way from the tippy top all the way down. Again, a little bit will go a long way. We're just going to put any excess on our nose. Dust it on the Cupid's bow. And then a little bit underneath our brow. And what I love about this look too, about the Kardashian Glow, is that you can, not only will look great on everybody, it will just, you can wear it every day. So you can, it's literally the most wearable look. I think that they have brought, to us. I love the Kardashians unashamedly since the beginning. I think that they, I watch it religiously, not just for, the drama and the scandal and everything, but also just to kind of see, what they're wearing, what lipstick color they're going to wear. So I do think that they are very innovative and smart, very, very smart. So just to complete the look too, you want to soften the brows. They have amazing brows, and you just want to work with the shape that you have. The key is, especially with the Kardashians, is to enhance your beauty. Whatever God has given you, that's what you want to enhance. If you have bold brows, keep them bold. If you have thin brows, just define them a little bit. Don't overdo it. So with me, I'm just going to fill in any of those holes that I have, which I do just a little bit. And I think pencils are the best for it. You can use powder if you choose, but I prefer pencil. I just think it's the easiest and the fastest way to fill in my brows. So once you got that, you want to brush them through. Keep them together so they're not all over the place. And then we're going to work on some, for the lids you want to keep it natural as well. I kind of want to go with a pink. I think I'm going to use the same color that I put on my cheeks. I'm going to put it on my lid just to give it a nice pop of color. Nothing too intense. I've never really used blush for shadow, but if you can use bronzer as a shadow, why not use blush? So I'm just going to put that all over the lid here. I think I put a little much. You just want something nice and neutral. I'm just going to blend that. A little, well, it's $3. What do you expect? We're just going to put a little bit, blend that out. I did have a little bit of a brown on here already. Whoops. So I was going to add a little bit of brown. You don't have to. You just want to keep it nice and low. The key also with any look is blending. You want to blend until your fingers bleed. You want to blend until you think you can't blend anymore. Once you get there, blend it again. I once did a makeup look that I really liked, but it was just something was bothering me, and I just could not put my finger on it. And then just before I was about to leave, I looked at myself again and I was like, you know what? Let me do something. So I just took a fluffy brush and I blended it a little bit more, and it was like, that's it. And it was my most favorite look that I've done. So when you think that you're finished, just blend it a little bit more, and then you'll love it. So once we get that, we're gonna use a little bit of the same highlighter shade we did, and we're just gonna go in here, the inner tear duct. Just to enhance that also a little bit more. Oh, a little bit much, but that's okay. Okay, so once you have a nice neutral shade on your lids, you're going to go in with mascara. Use the mascara that works for you. This one for me just makes my lashes the most intense. They make it the most fluffy. It's better than sex. It's just the best. But use the one that helps your lashes the most. We're just going to go in with the Kardashians. They are all about fluffy, full, thick lashes. For me, this is the mascara that does it. Now you could also, if you wanted, do individual lashes, because that's going to give you the fullest, most natural look. However, again, this is for the everyday girl, and I don't think that you need to wear false lashes every single day. Mascara will do just fine. And again, you're just going to brush it on through. Just make them as full as possible. For me, that will always mean 2 coats of mascara. That's the thing. I mean, it's just kind of what makes my lashes look the fullest. If yours gets full with 1 coat, lucky you. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Kardashians, which is why you're watching this. They are all about the fluffy bottom lashes as well. For me, I like to wait until my top mascara is a little bit dry, just because I have a tendency of getting it all over my lids. I don't know about you, but I can't for the life of me put mascara on without it touching my lid. I don't know how to do it any other way, and that's kind of why I don't always wear eyeshadow, because I'm always messing it up. I'm always making it messy with mascara. So just gonna let it dry just a little bit, nothing too intense, and then we're gonna add the same mascara that makes your lashes. I'm gonna get a little close here. There we go. The same mascara that makes your top lashes nice and full, you want to use that on the bottom lashes as well, because they are all about lashes that make it pop, and that's gonna make your eyes pop too. So once you get that, let me see here. I'm just hoping my camera doesn't die. Okay. So once you have that, you're gonna work on your lips. Now for me, I like to enhance your natural lip color. Whatever that is, you want to enhance it. For me, I like it to be a little nude and a little rosy. That kind of works for me. So I'm going to use this nude pencil. If you have, you know, more of a mauve lip, you want to use a more mauve lip color. You just want also, the reason why I like that is so that when it wears off, it's not going to look, you're not going to be like, oh my god, where are your lips? You know, it's just going to look natural. And for me, that's really important. What I love about makeup is that it enhances what you already have. And the Kardashians, they are nothing if they are not advocates of loving your body. And if you do want to change some parts of it, that's okay too. So after I put the nude lip pencil, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a pink. I don't like it to be too nude. My lips are very chapped. And I want it to be just a little bit. I like to use my fingers. I don't want it to be perfect. You know? Nobody's perfect. So this is the final look. I hope you guys were able to learn a little bit about how to achieve that Kardashian glow. It's perfect and just in time for spring. I don't know about you, but the weather's getting, well, it's always warm over here, but I hope it's getting a little warmer where you are. This is definitely something that I would wear for, I believe Easter's coming up. So watch out for that. But I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that it's a look that you feel you can wear every day. It's just in time also, I believe today is Happy International Women's Day. So Happy International Women's Day. Power to all the women out there. I know that we can rule the world. Make sure that you guys are voting out there. It is a very important election, and I do hope that you guys are able to use your voice, because we definitely have one and we definitely can have it be heard. We just have to do it. That's the only way that's the only way things are going to change, is if we actually say something. Okay, so let's not end on a serious note. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, we'll see you soon.